Hi, this is Nathan Day with Sunglo Feeds. We're sitting down today with Doug Albright from Coldwater, Michigan. Doug and his family and his dad Pat, they've got close to 200 show pig sows. They sell pigs all over the country, have had all kinds of success, and Doug's a friend of the industry and a friend of mine personally. Today we're going to sit down and talk about the 800, 811 series. You know, 800 and 811, we want to clear up any confusion for folks. You know, a lot of times we see our lineup and how simple it is. You got 16G, 18G, we know those are 16%, 18% coast. That feed coasts them along at a 14.5%-ish kind of a protein level, where 800 and 811, that's a 19% kind of a baby pig nutrition type feed that you can feed to either young pigs around 50 pounds or kind of as your final push, or if you're wanting to get just a little more from a jackpot perspective, a little more shape, a little more bloom. So Doug, if you could kind of walk through us a situation where either 800 or 811, and again to clarify, 800 would be the non-Paylean option, 811 would have 9 grams of Paylean in the diet itself. So Doug, go ahead.
So we use 800 or 811 in multiple different ways. Recently, we've been actually adding it to receiving diets for people all across the country and say, hey, we've got one that needs just a little bit more bulk and a little bit more chub. So we'll start at maybe half a pound. They maybe just need a little bit more bulk, but don't need to be on straight 800. So they'll add that in. Where we've used it for a long time is freshening pigs up, getting a fresh hardback in one. It's trends change and things go, but you still, to win a big show, you need to have a fresh, good back, and 811's been that product for us for a long, long time. So we'll use 811 or 800 in multiple different ways, especially at the end of the feeding period. We will add it at a half a pound per feeding all the way up to a full ration. Those pigs that don't necessarily need the rate of gain that is associated with Paylean or ractopamine, we will then add it at a 800 level. Adding maybe a half a pound of 800 to just kind of increase bulk and freshness without getting too fat is a really good option for their feeding. Whether they're feeding Sunglo or not, 800 is always in the repertoire to try to get a fresher back in them. 811 will increase rate of gain as well and really crispen up a back and get them ready within the last 10 days. Sometimes it's a month, sometimes it's the last 10 days, just to get those ring-ready show bears.
Yeah. I think that's an interesting point you bring up, is you can use a feed like 800 or 811 almost as a top dress, right? You don't have to feed it straight up.
Yep.
You can kind of adjust your diet with what the pig's telling you. I think a lot of times folks might think that, hey, I need to feed just straight 800 or straight 811, which in some cases might be the case, but often that pig maybe just needs just a little more, and without stepping too far out of bounds, you can throw in a product like 800, 811. So walk through with me, you've got a guy or sends you a video, or customer sends you a video, and you see a really, you see a good built, good made, when I think of Albright pigs, right, I think of, I don't mean that any disrespect, that's what I think of, is a good built, structurally sound bear that might need a little more, right? So let's say we're 30 days out. What are you going to tell that guy? He's got a Berkshire Barrett that's close, good looking, heavy bone, just needs a little more everywhere. So
we're going to start by adding a half a pound of 800, and we're going to evaluate him in a week, see what that half pound has done. We'll probably have him on 18G, or an 18% protein. Add that half pound in, see where we're at with 21 days.
I don't mean to interrupt, you're going to add it in, or you're going to replace
Depends on how much gain we need. So sometimes it's replacing a half a pound, but if we have the room, we'll just add it, or we'll replace it. Depends on where we're at with weight. So then we'll reevaluate that. If he still needs more, we'll switch it to 811. Sometimes somebody can't get both, so it could be just straight 811. And we'll keep some oats in there. We'll keep things to try to keep it balanced. But then we'll just keep increasing it till we have a desired where we need to be.
Gotcha. So with the 800 and 811 series, if we back up a little bit, let's say you've got a family that's wanting to do some jackpotting, right? So they've got a Barra or Gild or whatever that again maybe just needs a little more flesh, a little more chub. At what weight roughly are you going to start them on an 800?
Usually around 100 pounds. So we could have, hey, they received this Barra, we need to start getting him a little chubbier so we don't have to try try to get all the gas in the last
Right.
30 days, or hey, we're going to start jackpotting at 150 pounds. We'll start adding a half a pound of 800 just to get us a little more flesh, a little bit more bulk without blowing the doors off of him by switching completely to 800.
Right. And I think that's important to know is that, you know, when your target show is. I mean, I know that sounds so simple and so basic, but you know, a lot of folks, they might get frustrated early on in the jackpot series or whatever, but maybe the pig that they've purchased is built for the long haul and not built for, in our world, the middle of May or the middle of June even.
Right.
So I think that's important to note is knowing, you know, what your target goals are. And I'm sure you talk a lot about with your customers.
We do. We really talk about, let's have a plan. Let's have a protocol of saying, this is where we want to be. Let's not lose focus of that. Just because we're taking the pigs out to get some ring experience or to get the kids some ring experience, we're still June 1 or July 1, or for us in Michigan, July 15th is our goal. And as a breeder, I'm not sitting down saying, hey, I'm selecting my pigs at 150 pounds because they look really good at that point in time. I'm selecting a 280 pound gilt and a boar that's at 300 pounds. So there is a method to our madness because that's what they're supposed to look like at that finished place and time. So we add in to maybe make us a little more competitive or get us closer to our end goal by adding an 800 along the way, so we don't have to make up all of our mass and dimension in the last 3 weeks.
I want to thank Doug for sitting down with us and talking through with us how they feed. You know, that's one of the neat things about this video series is kind of picking the brains, kind of the bright minds of the show world and show stock industry, so they can kind of let you in on some tips and secrets for you guys to learn. That's what this video series is all about. We all want to be better. We all want to reach our goal, whether that goal is to go from 3rd place in class at our county fair to 1st, or try to win the Indiana State Fair or the Texas Major. It doesn't matter. We want to help you reach your goals. So again, make sure you check out sunglofeeds.com or go on YouTube and search Sunglo Feeds and subscribe to our YouTube channel to make sure you get all the updates of all the videos that we've got uploaded. We've got all kinds of great content on there. And again, we thank you for checking out this video.